All right, we're going to get into this. Hope everybody's doing good. I'm doing great. So here goes a question. Just something I was thinking. I love acronyms. And the question I was thinking about today is, do people with a PhD have a higher likelihood to succeed financially? And maybe not just financially, but also in other areas. But let's focus on financially here today. In my opinion, the answer is absolutely, without a question, yes. But it's not the PhD that you think I'm talking about. What I mean by PhD is poor, hungry, and determined. I've met and I've studied a lot of people that came from nothing, poor. But being poor made them hungry and determined, and then they achieve big things. But then again, on the flip side, there's also people that are raised in an environment with poverty, with a lack of a lot of things, that become a part of their environment, right? So it's like the concept of it's okay to live in poverty, but don't let poverty live in you, type of deal. It's a concept of I impact my environment, but I'm not impacted by my environment. And that's one of the things that I think that one of the attributes of successful people is that they impact their environment and they're not impacted by their environment. They make a conscious effort to not be impacted by their environment. And what are some of those things? Those are things that we develop, right? Sometimes I meet people and I could, just by their aura, by their posture, by their body language, by the way they talk, the way they carry themselves, their confidence, and I like to think that I have those attributes myself because I believe that I had those attributes myself, right? I don't walk into any room and think that I'm better than anybody else. I don't think anybody is any better than me, but I am supremely confident. If other people are not supremely confident, then they have their reasons to be. Part of the reason is because one of the things I could simply talk about what I'm doing, right? About my personal experience. I learned a long time ago it's okay to be a copycat as long as you copy the right cat. And I learned a long time ago too that what we were taught in school and by our teachers and even our parents, the way to become successful is to go to school, get good grades. I completely disagree. From kindergarten to the 12th grade is 14,000 hours of programming, of being told to copy, to memorize, to follow instructions. Listen, the creators of Google, the creators of Apple, Microsoft, Uber, Airbnb, they didn't do that by following the rules that society teaches people to do. They did that by being different. They did that by being bold. They did that by being confident, because it takes confidence to go out there and do something. Imagine 10, 15 years ago, it took a lot of confidence to go out there and try to compete against the taxi industry that's been around for many, many years. People thought that is the craziest thing in the world. Yet they did it. They were hungry. They were determined. Did they get a lot of rejection? Yes. And how is somebody going to handle and deal with rejection? The reason why they're going to be able to handle and deal with rejection, if they are driven, if they are determined, if they are hungry. Most people, however, their environment makes them not hungry. Whether it was an environment of lack or an environment of abundance. I've got friends that I grew up with that grew up with both parents. I grew up with one parent that grew up where their parents gave them a car at 16, right? They obviously lived in different neighborhoods than the one I grew up in, but nevertheless, I met people like that. And like one of my buddies, right? Single child. By the age of 16, he had a cell phone, which was a big deal back in the day. I think he had a Nextel, so I'm dating myself here. He had a nice car. I won't mention the kind of car it is because then people on my friends list will put two and two together and figure out who I'm talking about, some of my friends. But he had a car at 16, single child, raised with both parents, beautiful family. But one thing that I realized is that I felt I didn't know at the time. Now looking back, he was spoiled and he got given everything. And then when life threw curveballs and challenges at him, he wasn't hungry or determined enough to deal with them. And I remember having significant, when he was driving, not only when he was 16 was he driving a BMW, I was about 20. I mean, actually it was not a BMW. I don't know why I said a BMW. And I'm actually being very honest. But I mean a car, right? But I remember not even having a driver's license because I was illegal in this country at the time. I even if I had a car, I should not have been driving it because it would have been taken away. And I've gotten cars taken away from me, pulled over, taken away, put in jail, right? And then come back. I've had warrants for my arrest, for instance, for $100,000 warrant for my arrest. Over $100,000 warrants for my arrest. Yet I was building my business, driving, getting rides. At the time there wasn't Uber, and if there was, I wouldn't have been able to afford it, right? And I was out there driving, doing meetings in beat up cars, right? That's all I could afford. No license. Cars didn't even have plates. Matter of fact, this thing here was open. Had no airbag. And the one on the passenger seat was open as well. I had duct tape covering it down. Why though? Because I had the PhD. I was poor, hungry, and determined. And I knew that there was other people with PhD, poor, hungry, and determined, that came from other countries, not just Mexico, from other countries, right? From Asia, from the Middle East, from different countries. And guess what? They made it happen because they have more grit, they have more hunger and determination. But then again, you got some people that do come from that environment as well, from the poor environment, right? From an environment of not having a whole lot. And they don't have that drive. Why? Because they let themselves be a product of their environment. They let themselves be impacted and affected by their environment because they looked around and they say, well, this is what's normal. And what's normal is comfortable. Not only that, it's not just what they see, it's the beliefs that are ingrained in people, the philosophies that are ingrained in people. Like, money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are bad. Rich people are evil. So people that are rich because they hurt somebody, when in reality, yeah, that may be the case with some people. But I believe that I believe that in the world, the majority of the people are good. I believe that the majority of the rich people did it by helping others, by taking more risks than others. Look at this place. There's a car wash right there. There's a tune-up place right there, right? Oil changes. The owner of that place took risks in the form of money, of effort, time, right? To put that business up. Then they employ other people. So one of the things that in the environment that I grew up in that we didn't have is that we didn't have a good relationship with money. We looked at money like a negative thing, right? Like people that have money were bad. And money likes to be conquered is what I realized. It likes to be courted. Kind of like I courted my wife, right? And if you don't like money and you speak ill of money or people that have money, money will repel you. Okay, there's like a certain energy, and money is neutral. It's like, hey man, I'll go to those that earn it, right? So anyways, the point is, a PhD, what I'm referring to is being poor, hungry, and determined. And I'm going to say something that's controversial, and I don't care. I think personally, school is an absolute effing waste of time. You know, we live in a day and age where people will pay $100,000, $200,000 for schooling, right, to get an education, to earn $40,000 a year. People will pay $100,000, get in debt, $100,000, a debt that you can't get rid of, by the way. Schooling, if you study it, it's a business. It's a big business. That's what it is, man. And the richest people in the world designed the school system to create more employees for them because that's what they want. But Donald Trump, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Steve Jobs when he was alive, they didn't teach their kids to go to school for the reasons that other people teach their kids to go to school. Go to school to get an education, that's fine. Meet people, learn some things, but don't think you're going to go to school to learn how to get wealthy, to learn to be successful. I mean, especially nowadays, how many people do we know go to school and they got a degree, $100,000 in debt? I know plenty. They're in debt. They got a job that is nowhere near the degree they got. So they did not need the degree. So they're realizing, I wasted 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years or more, got in a ton of debt. Then I got buddies that only graduated from high school that got a job that's more fulfilling than mine, making more money than I do, and they don't have the debt I do. Damn, I would have been better off going there. But then it goes to mindset and personal development. If that is the case, if those were the cards that were dealt, because you did, and let's say somebody's in that situation, and those were the cards that they were dealt, now's the time to apply that PhD mentality, that what I call a bulletproof mindset mentality. It is what it is. Can I change anything? Can I change my situation by complaining about it and feeling sorry for myself? And the answer is no. So if that's the case, why focus on my situation and throw a pity party and invite people to my pity party? Check it out. I got a degree. I'm in debt, and my job sucks, and blah, blah, blah. That energy you could put into working on yourself, into finding the right business or the right job for yourself. That energy, and then that zaps energy. When you focus on what we focus on grows. If you focus on lack, if you focus on pity, you get more lack. You get more pity, right? So that's where the bulletproof mindset comes in, where it's like, hey, I am a little bit behind. Like, let's say you're behind on bills. You can sit there looking at your bills, stressing out, or you can say, I cannot pay these bills. Why am I going to focus on these bills? I'm going to go and focus on the actions that are going to get me to pay these damn bills. But focusing on these bills and feeling sorry for myself and getting angry and all of these negative emotions, which, by the way, your emotional state attracts more of that emotional state, attracts more of the things that get you into that emotional state. So it's dumb. Now, did your teachers teach you that? Nope. Was that in the books that we read in school? That's a nice portion. No. Why? Because those people don't know those things. Those people have a certain level of personal growth. Those people have a certain level of income success, of just fulfillment. So it's they say common sense. Common sense is not very common, right? So common sense is not very common. That's why most people don't achieve the things that they want, because common sense is, why would I listen to somebody that doesn't have the life that I want to have? And what I realized is, when I was in school, I heard a lot of teachers saying I'm poor. Teachers don't make a lot of money. And that is the case. I think teachers should make more than they do, right, for what they do. But the school system, and I know I'm all over the place and I'm just kind of freestyling this, right? But the school system is designed to reward people, kids, for memorization. They do a standard cookie cutter test for everybody. You know what I mean? It's like a picture that I saw where, you know, a guy has a bunch of animals, has a monkey, has a fish, has a cow. He says, all right, whoever fails this test is out. And the test was climbing a tree. How can you test, right, the intelligence of these animals based on climbing a tree, right? And that's how people are tested. And so the real things out there, and I'll leave it out with this. And by the way, these are my beliefs, that schooling is a waste of time. Yes, in this day and age, schooling is a waste of time. That's my belief. And by the way, you shouldn't feel bad or angry about what I'm saying. It's just my belief. I'm just a man that has a belief, and, you know, whatever. It's not a big deal. You know what I mean? I love network marketing. I got some friends that say that they hate network marketing. They don't like it. And I'm not mad at them. Like, it's cool. You know what I mean? I got my route. I'm happy. Like, I'm working right now. I'm on my way to find a place to eat, and I'm probably going to take a 2-hour lunch break, man. I'm going to make more in that 2-hour lunch break with some of my friends with a degree make the entire week. So to me, it's like, yeah, that's cool. We have a difference of opinion, but you're still my friend. Let's go play some pool this weekend. Right? Let's go have dinner together. You take your wife, I take my wife, let's go have dinner. It's all good, you know, whatever. So my opinion shouldn't get anybody mad. It's just my opinion, right? But I find it a problem where the grit and the mindset to become successful isn't taught in these schools. So PhD, once again, to finish off this video, because my phone's about to die, is poor, hungry, and determined. And you don't have to be poor, but the hungry and determined. See, but poverty creates more hungry and determined people. But even if you're not poor, doesn't matter. You know, the requisites to achieve big things, one of them is not being poor. Does it help? Yes. Contrary to popular belief, when people say, well, it's because I'm poor, I had less opportunities. Actually, you had a reason to be more driven. You know, that should have created more grit. So when people think that certain things are a disadvantage, like being poor, growing up not around a lot of success, that's actually an advantage, because that made you less soft than the person that had everything given to him. That person was at a real disadvantage because they were given everything. That is the difference. Anyways, guys, this video was supposed to be a very short video. It went a lot longer than I thought. Anyways, have a good day. Happy Friday, by the way. I realized today is Friday because I have six Saturdays and 1 Sunday. So oftentimes I have no idea what day of the week it is. You know what I mean? But Friday I do know, because today I'm doing payroll for my company. And matter of fact, I actually need to go to the bank too. Anyways, guys, have a good day. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay on this video. Let me know what you guys liked about this. Let me know if you guys agree. Let me know if you disagree. I'm cool if you disagree. You know what I mean? We're always learning. And anyways, have a good day. Bye.